But it goes back to what we were talking about last week, how important it is to have a great team around you. You need to have great service providers. People do make mistakes, but you want people that make, if they make a mistake, they're going to back you up with their customer service, be accountable, and take care of it. As you know, we've revamped all the websites, and you'll see that this is mine up here now, and all yours are going to be of a similar template to this. You're going to be able to choose up to 5 areas that are going to feature listings. So for me, liking the west side, it's Santa Monica, Venice, Brentwood, West LA, and Palms Mar Vista. They're still customizing on how they go, but you can also, up here, these pictures I added. So you can add pictures, some of these are stock photos, some of these I took just going around Santa Monica and Venice and Marina Del Rey. So that's available to you. We're really happy with these sites. They're very professional looking, and then the behind the scenes, as you know, with it's powered by MailChimp, so you're going to have great drip campaigns, great CRM, up to 2,000 contacts in that. So get on that. If you haven't gotten that squared away or moved over, talk to Davey and make sure you have that. How many of you have seen The Big Short?
I didn't see it.
Huh?
I didn't see it.
Anybody?
Somebody told me not to see it.
You think you did?
Yeah.
Okay, as a real estate person,
Yeah, I saw it.
you have to see it.
Jennifer told me, do not see it. It's a depressing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it's not depressing at all. It's
Like-
it's educational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
I want to see it.
And it happened, and it's passed, and we're through it. I just think it's very important because you hear all sorts of things with your clients. Well, the market's up so high. How am I going to buy? It's going to collapse. Well, there's reasons why things happen. Sometimes, there's things beyond our control that are unforeseen that happen. In the case of the housing market cratering in 2008-9, has to do with all the mortgage-backed securities that were wrapped together by the big brokerages and sold, and they were bad notes wrapped in these AAA rating bonds. But it's a great movie to go see because it helps you understand how the markets work. We talk about markets all the time here. I talk about, remember with Britain leaving the Union, right? The market cratered, 600 points the first day?
Yeah.
Another 300 or 400, 300 points the next day? And what did I tell you? I said, I'm putting money in the market.
Best time to buy.
Right. So I did. And everybody's, you're crazy, the end of the world's coming. Now, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know the S&P 500 is at all-time highs now. So as a trade, I could just pull out of that and make my money. But again, I'm in for the long haul. I'm in dividend-paying blue chip stocks and bonds, and nice mixture of that. So for me, it's for the long haul. But when these opportunities come, I think there will always be more opportunities. But having a plan, remember, sold that property, I said a certain part of that's going to go into the market, and so it was planned and it was ready, and then timing for that was good. So just think about your plans, have your financial plan. We talked about looking up on Social Security and seeing what your payout's going to be. Start planning your retirement, start planning what it's going to be like. I was shocked to all of a sudden realize, hey, it's 12 years, I'm 65. I have a pension from acting, and I realized in 2 years I could start collecting on it. I'm not gonna, because I want to let it, it's at a significantly discounted rate, but plan for your retirement, plan for your life, plan for your real estate business, plan for the next 6 months. I have an article I'm going to pass around. It says this summer. It's off CNBC. I love that app and news station. So this will be the best summer for housing market in a decade. So following this is the strongest spring in the last 10 years we've had in the market. Year over year, non-adjusted existing and new home sales combined are up 6% over last year. The best year since 2007. Home prices are again up 5 and 6% according to Case-Shiller index. Right? You know what Case-Shiller is? If you don't, you should. During the boom that we had, there was loose credit, which enabled unsustainable increases in home ownership as well as speculative overbuilding. And then we all know what happened next. throw in the bonds in the Big Short. You know, the guy's going around and checking out Florida, and there's like 5 people living in one development. He runs into a stripper who owns 5 properties.
Correct.
So that's what was happening. Loose credit. Right now, we don't have loose credit. Credit's tight. It's hard for people to get money. Today, we haven't recovered completely. For instance, we're now only building about half the new homes we need to keep up with the number of new homes being formed, households being formed. That's happening in part because the construction industry is having a tough time accessing credit, which is also a problem for consumers. Credit for would-be home buyers has tightened this year as mortgage rates have fallen to 3-year lows. Right? So rates are in a beautiful, beautiful place. Tight credit is limiting new home supply as well as existing home supply. Many homeowners who bought 10 or more years ago wouldn't qualify for a similar mortgage today. We continue to see fewer homes for resale compared to a year ago. In fact, the supply of these homes is well below the normal for the last 45 months. It's no wonder the inventory available in recent months has moved at its fastest pace so far in this recovery, staying on the market for a median time of only 65 days. This is national, according to Realtor.com. So for at least the next 15 years, 2 of the largest generations in history, millennials and baby boomers, will be making critical decisions on how they want to live. Millennials entering their prime household formation and buying years. If you're not tapping into that group, you need to. You need to. They already dominate the home buyer pool, and the ranks of millennial home buyers will only grow from here. Meanwhile, more than 3.5 million baby boomers turned 65 this year. The numbers grow as well, reaching 4.5 million a year in a decade. We're seeing that 65 is the new 55 when it comes to boomers taking action on their housing and retirement plans. That's why I'm talking about it now at almost 55, right? It should have been at 25. You know, Rachel, at your age, you can put money away, and you know, $100 a month will make a big difference in your by the time you retire. I'm telling you. So now with the whole British thing, it's pushed mortgage rates even lower, keeping 30-year rates solidly under 4% for probably the rest of the year. Lower rates and buying rate create a sense of urgency, especially for would-be buyers. You know, unemployment continues to decline and is approaching full employment. We're at like 5%. But then they have everybody complaining about the numbers. What's true and what's not. We're seeing that consumer confidence is managing to stay relatively strong despite the election year and jitters with who's going to be our next president. Nobody really likes either of these 2 candidates. Anyway, the hottest marketplaces right now are San Francisco, Dallas, San Diego, and Denver. All right, these places are producing more than enough qualified buyers, and there's plenty of housing. There's just not the housing stock there, so we're just going through the word. So eventually, a combination of higher prices and higher mortgage rates will lead to softening demand across the United States. However, it's probably not going to happen before the fall or the winter, when we reach, typically our slowest time of the year. So, limited new construction, tight credit, are preventing factors that normally lead to oversupply and trigger a downward cycle in real estate. So for now, we basically have a perfect storm of real estate. That being said, when there always seems to be a perfect storm and everybody's on the same side of a trade, things seem to flip-flop. But if you have your buyers, I had a prospective buyer on the last place I sold, and I thought they were going to be my ace in the hole. Parents buying for their kids, and the uncle said to them, "Well, I think the market's going to go down in the next 2 months." I don't know on what basis. So you need to be armed with market knowledge to help. Clearly, it's 2 months ago, and the market's fine, and they want to buy a property. It's going to cost them more money today than it was going to 2 months ago, and it probably will 2 months from now. Again, whenever you predict things, you end up looking foolish, but at least be able to build a case economically for your clients as to why they need to pull the trigger, why they need to buy now. They need your help. They don't have the education of the market. They don't have the financial education that you carry. You're a realtor. you're held to a higher accountability, a higher degree of education in real estate. So bring that to your buyers.